Hi everyone, it's JK again. We just had our big August update. Now, I was going to start out by looking at the ammo belt recovery system. However, we ran into a slight issue. And since I can't read Japanese, we will instead start out by looking at the Empyrean armor. Currently, we can't get it. That the NPC to make sortie available should be out soon, perhaps by the time you see this video. But in the meantime, we can look at the gear, thanks to the wizards over at BG Wiki. Link in the description. And so we're just going to look at a small set of the jobs here. I'm going to make a few videos going through different sets of the jobs because I'm not doing all 22 tonight. So first, we're looking at the Black Mage set. Here, I think the most notable things to point out in terms of like what we currently use with the +1 set is the feet. The Manual 15 combined with the Ambuscade Cape allows you to cap out mana wall as well as combined with your drop points. And that allows you to be incredibly tanky. Also, the legs boost the duration of the debuff provided by the jaw AoE spells. The problem being, right now you're really hurting your damage on those jaw spells when you use these legs. So we're hoping the legs get enough nuking stats that it's at least in the ballpark in terms of damage, so you're not being hurt by it too much. Also, if we could increase the duration even further on the debuff, that would be lovely. For the feet, what I really want is some movement speed. I don't actually use them for mana wall that much because when I'm really mana walling to pull a ton of mobs, I'm switching to the SU4 staff, which also gives mana wall, so then I can take these feet off and get some movement speed, either through Herald's Gators or the Hippomonas for a flea. And then that just leaves the fact that Black Mage is not in a good spot, especially with their nukes right now. Anything to just improve their nuking, especially with the other slots, would be greatly appreciated. Also, weapon skill damage. The elemental weapon skills, like Cataclysm on Black Mage, actually really strong right now. If they could get some good weapon skill damage pieces with a ton of MAB on them, that could actually help Black Mage a lot as well. Sadly, we did not get what I wanted. No movement speed, no nuking pieces that are going to replace anything Black Mage already has for nuking. We did get slightly improved legs for casting jaw spells. Actually, probably good enough that, yes, in fact, you'll just use them for the jaw spells. Take the minor DPS hit on the jaw spell to get the much longer duration debuff. So that worked, but I mean, they seem to focus the set on making it a really good DT set. Every job already has Niame. Why do I need to make these tankier? This is not what we need. No weapon skill damage piece. I mean, I guess I will note several of these pieces actually have slightly more magic evasion than Niame, but you lose out in the physical defense. Yeah, didn't get much here. They even threw it wasted stats, putting an extra 5 mana wall on the feet. Totally useless. It's capped. You don't need anymore. I guess I will note, since it's the first one, we do have earrings, JSE earrings. They come in NQ up to +2. I was hoping to hype up these sets, but I made the mistake of thinking, oh, Black Mage doesn't have much. I'm sure they'll get something good. So much for that. But, so I thought, I would put the +2 earring for each job on here as well. We believe these will have some kind of augment probably random on them. We don't know what those are at the moment, so I'm not going to list them because we don't know what they are. So instead, I'm just going to list the +2 earrings because we're trying to hype things, so let's go with the maximum strength. But yeah, probably should not have started with Black Mage since I'm trying to hype things, because Black Mage can never get anything good. Next we have Blue Mage. Blue Mage is not a job I play, so I'm not going to pretend to know too much about what they particularly want or need. But I'm sure there'll be Blue Mages in the comments tell me all about either how great or terrible the +2 here ends up being. So here's the Blue Mage +2. I guess I'll just run through the pieces real quick here. They add weapon skill damage to the head, DT on the body, DT on the hands, DT on the legs, and then some magic burst damage on the feet. And then you got probably like the worst earring. Sword skill and blue magic skill. I don't know what they're thinking there. I guess they thought blue mages didn't have enough DT. I mean, on the bright side, it is DT on some decent MAB pieces, so I know blue mages do a lot of cleaving of various types, and so being tanky in your casting set has some value there at least. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing here looks too exciting either, unfortunately. Considering Yame exists, so we'll just move on and hopefully one of these next jobs will be more exciting. Okay, Bard. Bard set is already pretty good. The feet, of course, are movement speed. Several of the pieces are used for their plus song. Now, looking at the other AF and Relic, the plus songs usually stay +1 all the way until they get to +3, so I'm not expecting to see the +2 songs on just the +2 piece. I expect to see, if we're gonna see them, it'll be on the +3 Empyrean +3 pieces. We'll see a +2 song. But we'll check if I'm wrong there. Of course, the body is a nice duration piece, and then besides just for specific songs and that duration on the body and the movement on the feet, all the pieces also get used for the set bonus if there's nothing else in the slot to use, because it's some free bonus stats. So it's a decent set already. Let's see where the +2 takes us. Okay, so here's the Bard +2. As we can see, the songs are still just +1 as predicted. Just running through the pieces real quick here. The head, they gave DT. The body increased the song duration by 1, so I was kind of hoping it'd be more than that. Then they gave it regen. The hands got DT. The legs got DT. And the feet got regen and fast cast. Okay, it already had some regen, so it just increased the regen, so and they gave it fast cast. I don't know that Bard had any issues with fast cast, but 10 fast cast is a fairly large amount for feet, I think. And then your earring, singing skill, and enmity -9. Yeah, the Bard +2 set does not look that good. On the other hand, though, we do expect the +3 set. We're probably increasing the song potencies. So the +3 set will probably be like really good for Bard. So maybe it's alright that just the +2 didn't do much. On the bright side, you do cast a lot in this set, so casting with a little bit of extra DT is kind of nice. So there's that at least. But I think for Bard, we're mostly just going to be looking forward to the +3. Okay, next we have Geo. Um, I don't know that I'm really looking forward to anything for Geo, just because the way master levels have worked on Geo, you no longer really need skill gear. So it's basically you get your Idris, and then the rest of your gear hardly matters. I mean, the interclosure duration bonus on the feet is kind of nice. Increase that a bit more. Uh, I'd really like to see something kind of new, different, something to really add to what Geo can do. Uh, Either make its nuking a lot better, make its meleeing a lot better, something like that. Because right now, as far as supports go, not only does Geo get nerfed on a ton of content, but your other support classes like Bard and Corsair can put out way more damage than a Geo can. So while Geo buffs are still quite strong and strong enough that they need to get nerfed on a lot of content, uh, their lack of being able to do much on their own is a little problematic, especially for 6-man content, which Square Enix seems to keep forcing us into now. So here's the Geo Plus 2. They gave DT to the head. This is a good choice for that piece since it has Luopan regen, so it's a piece you would be interested in idling in. The body they gave Magic Burst 2, uh, but that's not going to be enough to compete with the Ia. The hands they gave more damage taken, and no reason to want to idle in it, so that doesn't do anything. The legs they gave magic burst damage 1 2, but again, I don't think that's beating out your best nuking options on Geo. The feet they did increase the interclosure effect duration, and they gave it some DT. Okay. And the earring they gave Geomancy skill and magic attack bonus. Well, the magic attack bonus is nice, but you're gonna need a decent augment for that to end up being a best in slot nuking earring. And Geomancy skill is completely useless at the moment. Maybe one day they'll make skill useful again, but with master levels, you just don't need any skill anymore. Oh, good. The next job is Red Mage. I have faith. Red Mage will be great. The set bonus for Red Mage is super strong. Not only, I mean, most people know about how it boosts your duration when casting enhancing magic on others, but it also boosts enfeebling magic duration cast on enemies. The problem is it currently tends to lack magic accuracy. Also, the body and hands can greatly improve the potency of enfeebling magic. So, give this set some good magic accuracy, and you're going to see way stronger debuffs from Red Mage. So, I expect this set to be much more exciting than the sets we've looked at so far. Um, and thank God, because these have been some depressing sets so far. Oh boy, Red Mage did not disappoint here. Uh, so I'll just run through them. The head they gave DT to. That's not too exciting, but again, it gives you that set bonus, and it now has solid amount of magic accuracy. The body, 2 more enfeebling magic effects. That's gonna add a lot of potency to your enfeebles. 13 DT with 3 refresh. This is now an amazing idle body. And you've got the magic accuracy to go with the enfeebling magic. And it's got that set bonus. So yes, this is just what you're going to be using for casting enfeebles, and this is also going to be one of the best options for idling in. Okay, the hands. They increase the saboteur potency by another point. That's a big deal. On top of that, you've now got appropriate levels of magic accuracy. They increase the skill even more. Yeah, I mean, between the body and the hands, we're gonna see so much stronger enfeebles. And they're gonna land so much easier because you have the magic accuracy on those pieces finally. Uh, the DT on the hands, I mean, it's not amazing, but if these are what you're casting your enfeebles in, well, you're now casting all your enfeeble spells in a lot of DT, and red mage solos a lot, so not getting caught out, uh, getting wiped out when you're trying to cast your enfeebles is actually kind of important. So DT is perfectly fine. Okay, the legs. Now, to note here, you don't really want to use this for casting enfeebles with the legs because the Sharonicos that you can augment come with the Amino Break +1. I think you're still probably going to want to stick with those most of the time. Although, the set bonus increased duration is certainly worth considering here. But I still think you go mostly that way. But you're still going to want these legs because refresh potency +3. You all your refresh is that you cast will have one more potency than before. The magic burst damage +10 doesn't really do anything because again, red mage has the ES set, so I don't think this piece is gonna replace anything in your nuking set. Oh boy, the feet. So they put weapon skill damage on these, and they've got 45 MAB. So you're gonna be using these for your elemental weapon skills. And I don't think this is going to replace Niame right now for your physical weapon skills, but the +3 very well could. On top of that, we've got 5 more enhancing magic duration than before, and 5 more magic skill than before. And enhancing magic skill can give you increased temper 2 and increased end spell damage. So, and this is duration for when you're casting those, which is kind of an issue because those spells you're casting usually in absolute max skill, so you don't have quite as much duration. So, just wow, these feet are really good. And this is only the +2. Okay, and finally we should look at the earring. 9 fast cast. Well, that is a heck of a lot for an earring. I mean, red mage doesn't need any more fast cast. That's basically irrelevant. 9 enhancing magic duration. That's great. Anything to, make your buffs last longer so you're spending less time recasting them is great. I mean, I will have to look at the exact breakdowns of where my tiers are for temper 2 and my end spells to see if I can maybe lose an earring for this to get more duration. I doubt I can, but there's at least a chance I can. So I will have to look at that. So far, Red Mage, best job we've looked at so far for sets. Okay, next we have Scholar, another job I have very high hopes for. The piece I've been looking forward to the most, I think it's the feet. Climaform 15. That's a 15% damage multiplier once you've met all the requirements for it, which is easier to do now than it used to be because they added duration to Climaform. But at the moment, this piece, it lacks any MAB and, any magic accuracy. So give this some appropriate stats, and I think that these feet can easily become best in slot. The head, currently used for regen, but also of note the Ebulance +15. That's actually pretty powerful, but again, this piece currently lacks MAB, so give it some appropriate stats, and all of a sudden we'll be using it for Ebulance again. The body, the Mind's Enmity here bypasses the cap. As I understand it, it's multiplies with the other, so it's not like super broken, but still, anytime you can get such large chunks of enemy, and they can potentially bypass the cap. Uh, there's some consideration to go in there. The hands, of course, are used for perpetuants, and it'll be interesting to see if we get more penury and parsimony, because the info we have right now on how it works is less than ideal. It's just that it basically forces a conserve MP proc, but we don't know why, it says +4 as opposed to the earlier pieces, because they both appear to do that. So I don't know if it forces maybe a higher tier proc. I suppose I'll have to do some testing at some point. Here's the +2, and these feet are super broken. I mean, I guess black mages can just retire now. So let's go over this. Climate Form Plus, so that's a 20% damage multiplier. And they gave it Magic Burst damage too. And they gave it 40 MAB and 20 magic damage. And solid magic accuracy as well. I mean, this is an absolute game changer for Scholar. Their nuking is now like serious competition for Black Mage, which is nuts. I mean, granted, Black Mage already has that level of nuking and still struggles to find uses for it, but keep in mind, Scholar can basically main heal at the same time as they do this. So yeah, it's quite strong. I guess let's check the head. The head they gave DT, but we also got increased regen potency, some extra ebullience plus and rapture plus. And it now has magic accuracy, MPB, and magic damage. Those stats should be enough that you now use this for ebullience again. That's again going to be a significant boost to Scholar damage. Looking at the body now, 12 DT with 3 refresh, pretty high magic evasion. Yeah, I mean, this is, and magic defense, but yeah, you're going to be idling in this now most of the time. Well, I mean, I guess you can also go with the Omen body, but it never wants to drop for me, so this is what I'll be idling in probably. Also, the massive minus enmity is nice. The hands, we got 5 more perpetuants than before. The magic burst damage plus I don't think will matter because Agu. The imminence bonus, in case you're wondering, it gives you slightly higher skill chain damage on your skill chains you make with imminence. Not super relevant. The legs, yep, they gave them the penury and parsimony +5 now. So we'll have to do some testing at some point to try and figure out what exactly that's doing. And they give him some DT. I mean, it's a lot of DT for a leg slot, but and then the earring, the same earring as Black Mage. So it's really gonna kind of depend on the augment as to how good it is, but it's in the ballpark of a best in slot earring. Okay, next we have Summoner. So the main things I'm looking for here is we found the new skill tier recently because of master levels. And then I mathed out with the current best in slot skill gear, can we reach that skill tier without swapping weapons using Nirvana by master level 50? It turns out we're currently 5 skills short. But part of that is we have to use this head for Avatar's favor. So if they give this head at least 5 more skill, we will for sure be able to reach that skill tier. The rest of these pieces are mostly just used for their specific job abilities. I'm expecting they'll, get slightly improved, but it won't really change much. Oh wow, this 7 head. It now has refresh +3, so and DT -9. So you're definitely wanting to idle in this for the avatar's favor, which is now +4 instead of +3. And they gave it 5 more skill. I'm not sure if there are 2 more tiers of avatar's favor. With this giving an avatar's favor effect +1, you might not even need to reach that higher skill tier. But I guess as soon as we get one of these, we can test whether or not there are 2 more tiers of avatar's favor possible or not. And there's also the potential of there being 2 avatar's favors tiers you can reach, and being able to reach them without weapon swapping by master level 50, which would be actually like really really strong. Going through the rest of these, you got DT on the body, which I mean it's not a terrible option since they put a bunch of avatar perpetuation costs there. They increased the mana seed on the hands, DT on the legs, but I don't really see a use for those. The feet, again, you've got perpetuation cost. They improved that elemental siphon, which is nice. I do see that they've added a decent amount of blood pact damage on most of these pieces, but I don't think it'll change my blood pact sets. And oh, look at the earring. Refresh +3 on the earring. On top of that, it has blood pact damage +5 that matches the Jellos earring from that Adeline quest, which I think most people still use. So, and it's got avatars level +1 at the same time. So even before augments, I think this is your best in slot blood pact earring and best in slot idol earring. So yeah, that's really good. And of course the head is absolutely amazing. The rest of the piece is a little bit more mediocre, but I mean, still doing a heck of a lot better than the earlier jobs we were looking at. Finally, we have White Mage, which will be the last job of this video. The standout pieces so far here is, of course, the legs, which makes your cures effectively free in many situations. The body, which gives you cure skin bonus. The feet, improving your auspice. And the hands can do some interesting things with divine caress, but I don't see that used a ton. Anyways, let's check out what the +2 looks like. So the body, we got improved cure skin, and they threw regen on it for some reason. Okay. The hands, even more divine caress, and increased regen effect duration. That's nice. The feet, even more auspice. I don't know that you need even more auspice. I think you usually have enough subtle blow 1 for most melees to cap out with their normal auspice, but it is nice for when maybe you're not trying for a subtle blow build, but you're just helping all the melees have a bit more subtle blow. It reduces what you have to deal with. Legs, an additional 1% on the MP return. This is actually a big deal. It's going to let you overcure more without it costing you MP. Obviously, overcuring is still how you get in trouble here, but with a 7% return instead of a 6%, you should have an easier time keeping your cures free. So that's pretty good. And they threw a bunch of DT on it, so you're casting cures constantly with these. Now you're gonna have a lot more DT when you're doing that casting. That's great. Also, the set bonus here improves your bar spells, as does the body. and we've also got increased skill on the feet. So yeah, I think you're going to use several pieces here when you're casting your bar spells, and take advantage of that side bonus a bit. Oh, and the earring. Uh, Healing magic skill plus 12. I mean, there's some uses for that, but it's not super big deal. Uh, Enmity minus 9. Again, you can probably cap out your minus enmity anyways, but that is a lot in the earring, so I'm sure that'll make some of your sets look a lot better with that. And again, who knows what the augments might be that might make it even better. So that's it for today. Uh, I will be back with another video soon to look at my next set of jobs. I think it may have been a mistake to start with the mage jobs because the first few did not look good, but Red Mage and Scholar and Summoner, I think, really got some amazing gear out of this, and I look forward to see what the other jobs got.